All right, talk about bad timing. After Hunter's guilty verdict, the White House promptly canceled the daily press briefing and announced Joe would be headed to Delaware tonight to, quote, be with family. But not before Joe had to give a speech to a gun control group. Imagine having to talk about gun control right after your own son is convicted of federal gun crimes. Well, Joe took the easy way out. He never mentioned Hunter once, spent most of his speech going after America's law-abiding gun owners and Donald Trump. In fact, the only Hunter Joe mentioned is when he meant campaigning in Delaware decades ago. Who knows if it's true? Maybe an Uncle Bozy moment. The cannibal guy. Take a look.
I mean this. I know it's hard, because I've gotten those phone calls too, saying I lost a son, a daughter, a wife. I know what it's like. We're not stopping there. It's time, once again, to do what I did when I was a senator. Ban assault weapons. He said, what do you mean I need that done? I said, guess what? If you need 12 to 100 bullets in a gun, in a magazine, you're the lousiest shot I've ever heard of. My predecessor told the NRA convention recently, he's proud that, quote, I did nothing on guns when I was president. And by doing nothing, he made the situation considerably worse. How many times have you heard this phrase? The blood of liberty. Wash with those. Give me a break. No, I mean it, seriously. And by the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle. Folks, look, this is crazy what we're talking about.
And President Obama, then Vice President Biden, they did nothing to stop violence, gun violence in Chicago and other big cities. Anyway, here with reaction to the day's news, Miranda Devine of the New York Post and former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. Well, the laptop from hell, you, our friend Emma Jo Morris, you guys were right the whole time, Miranda. And to me, the verdict is, it was the right verdict. The evidence was overwhelming. But the bigger story is the government introducing that laptop into evidence. And that means all the other contents in that laptop are now meaningful as it relates to the law and Joe and Hunter Biden. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And the fact that the Joe Biden, the Biden campaign, the CIA, the FBI, those 51 former intelligence officials went to such lengths to lie about the laptop. Big tech censored the New York Post when we wrote about the laptop and the contents of it. What that shows you is that they were absolutely terrified about the contents of the laptop because they knew that it would be so damaging to Joe Biden that it would wreck his campaign. And they successfully managed to suppress the story. And as you said earlier, that amounted to election interference. And that is why none of those 51, you saw James Clapper the other day, you've seen others of them, they all refused to admit that they lied, that they were wrong, that they had zero evidence that it was Russian disinformation. They knew it wasn't Russian disinformation. The FBI had had the laptop since December 2019. It was well known within the intelligence community that that information was real. And yet, if they admit that they knew it wasn't Russian disinformation, they are admitting that they were part of an election interference, a coup, really, to ensure that the president, Donald Trump, didn't win a second term.
It really comes down to that, doesn't it? Now that we know all of this, Pam Bondi, we know also that Merrick Garland, DOJ, the FBI, they've all known this for 4 years. There's a lot of other information, damning information on that laptop. It implicates Joe, it implicates Hunter, it implicates the brother, it implicates all these other people. They've had this evidence. They haven't done a thing with this evidence. What's your reaction to that, which to me is the much bigger story here?
It sure is, Sean, and I am glad they got a conviction on this, because now they can use the gun conviction in the tax charges, the only charges that are currently left against Hunter Biden, because the cases in 2014 and 2015, of course, the statute of limitations had run. They let it run about dealing with foreign agents. The cases that could most likely implicate James Biden, Joe Biden, the entire Biden family, they let those run. But now they're faced with the tax charges. Let's see what happens. Let's see if there's not a plea deal. I think there probably will be at this point because of this conviction. But yeah, thanks to Miranda, thanks to great reporting, everyone now knows that the laptop from hell, as she says, is real, and everything on it is real, including all the other incriminating evidence that could be great for prosecutors.
Well, what about Garland? He's had this information, this damning information. Yep. They all knew that Joe lied about, I never talked to my son, my brother, or anybody about their foreign business deals. And what about leveraging $1 billion so his son continues to get paid? What about the money they're getting from a former Russian oligarch? What about meeting that oligarch in Cafe Milano? What about calling into all the meetings? What about the millions of dollars the family's raking in? Hunter has no experience in energy, oil, gas, coal, Ukraine, or China. How's he making all that money while he's addicted to drugs?
That's exactly right. And remember, President Trump asked that simple question of President Zelensky, and look what happened. They tried to impeach him over it, and President Trump was, of course, right all along. Yeah, Merrick Garland is our chief law enforcement officer in this entire country. You know, we talk about the weaponization of the FBI, the CIA, ATF now, the IRS. Well, it all starts at the top with Merrick Garland. He has to respond to this. He has to be held accountable. This is way too important for the American people. And our justice system is at stake, Sean.
Well, Miranda, maybe now your book, Laptop from Hell, will be a bestseller again. And people can now look a little more deeply now that finally the government 4 years later has confirmed that which you and Emma Jo and others reported way back when. All right, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.